Be ready, 10 seconds to go. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, the seventh 5-year plan presented to us, I very humbly submit, is not even worth the paper on which it is printed. About the direction my honorable friend has spoken, and I do not want to repeat the same. A plan which has no direction, a plan which is only meant for status quo, not only status quo, a plan which increases disparity and inequality, a plan which takes the country back economically, cannot be said to be a plan at all. The Planning Commission has expressed some pious hopes and said inflation is the main obstacle. Yes, you have identified it. But unfortunately, if I may make a little digression, the Planning Commission is a dumping ground for unwanted ministers. A man who is not doing good work has been dumped there. So you can see the seriousness of it. You have identified inflation. But how do you solve it? The finance ministry, which is in charge, is taking steps towards increasing inflation. The industry ministry, the agriculture ministry, they are following policies which will increase inflation. So, for what purpose are you identifying a malady for which you have no remedy? Already, the budget of this country is dependent on 75% loans from outside, and we have to go begging to the World Bank and other international monetary institutions. How can you plan when your budget is dependent to that extent on foreign resources? Only the other day, we were told that rupees 5,000 crores are coming from the International Monetary Fund with all their conditions to which we have agreed. And these conditions have not been disclosed. All these will lead to further inflation. Then we have an economy of shortages. When you are following a policy of economy of shortages, do you think that inflation can be contained? Who does not know that there is economy of shortages? Then there is black money. After the Supreme Court decision on the black bonds, even in black bonds there is black market. Yes, there is black market in black bonds. Do you think that with all these phenomena and all these policies and steps you will be able to contain inflation? And if you cannot contain inflation, and if inflation is allowed to go on, then, as my friend asked, what is the plan worth for the poor of our country? My friend said that today it is 37%, and I say it will go on increasing. In the industrial sector, you have put some targets. But what is your industrial policy resolution of 1985? Your industrial policy resolution provides for automatic expansion, regularization of excess capacity, and export oriented economy. Tell me, Mr. Planning Minister, With all these policy you are following, do you think you can achieve your targets? Can anybody plan with these policies of automatic expansion? I would like to have an answer to this from the planning minister when he replies to the debate. If there is automatic expansion, where is your target? If there is regularization of excess capacity, what will happen to your target? With an export oriented economy, how can you plan? That depends on the vagaries of international supply and demand position and to a certain extent international political situation. How can you forecast these? Now come to agricultural sector. After you have completed the sixth 5-year plan successfully, you are going in for massive import. What will happen to your target in this sector? In the plan, where is the provision for flood, drought, and other vagaries of nature? The whole Gangetic plain is floating on water. It can be turned into the world's bread basket. But how can you do it with the priority you have given for irrigation? If you have a plan to tackle this region, then you would have contained drought to some extent. Coming to flood, you have a flood committee report. I do not know whether this fact has been brought to your notice because I do not find any reflection of it in this plan document. They are in 3 or 4 volumes and they are gathering dust somewhere. Not a single thing has been noted from them, nor is there any direction to implement the programs or to do anything to control the floods. They do not find any reflection here. Then, sir, I come to the question of energy. Sir, today it is agreed that if you want a forward economy, if you want a developed economy, you will have to go in for fusion energy. Your plan is for some solar energy at the most and for some pretty things, of course, other things are there. But as I said, those things will keep your economy move backward. So, in that field also, your priority is wrong. Unless you plan for fusion energy, you cannot solve the problem of energy, and if the energy problem is not solved, your agricultural production will not improve anymore. Stop